Disclaimer: the informational content of this presentation is valid as it connects back to the case study. However, the presentation is derived as a fictional parody for entertainment purposes. The presentation theme is based off of the popular TV show The Office. Enjoy!
Greetings, dear listener. My name is Dwight K. Schrute, Assistant to the Regional Manager at Dunder Mifflin Paper Company. Today I will be narrating a story titled Ryan's Great Adventure with Inside Sales. I would like to take a moment to thank the Negotiation Ninjas, the sponsor of this story presentation. The Negotiation Ninjas have been the most superior team since the beginning of time, and they are completely dominating the sales management course. Okay, without further ado, let's begin learning more about Ryan and his adventure with Inside Sales. A backstory. Once upon a time, there was a hungry young millennial named Ryan. Ryan was once a temp at Dunder Mifflin Scranton. He was a lazy, incompetent goofball who thought he was too good for his job, but then, one day, he decided to try his hand at inside sales. Ryan fell passionately in love with the idea of inside sales, and he decided it was a good time for a career shift. Ryan had an idea. He would start his own company to help collect data that would be useful for making sales. Plus, Kelly dumped him, so things got awkward at Dunder Mifflin. Ryan arrogantly quit his job without really thinking about it, as he had very little financial stability and burned some bridges at Dunder Mifflin when he left. He confidently proclaimed he would be richer than Donald Trump and didn't need his temp job selling paper. The day after Ryan quit, he deeply regretted the way he left his job. He now had no job or friends, and he was evicted from his apartment. He was forced to move back to live in his parents' basement in a typical millennial fashion. But Ryan was determined to succeed. He knew he had the skills and the talent to be a successful businessman. And so, in 2002, his company Qualtrics was founded in his parents' basement. His business started out as an online survey software provider for data collection and market analysis, but over time it evolved into a successful business as an XM platform. It was a wild ride for Ryan as his company was growing, and he had to do a deep dive into how his business was structured. His entire model was structured around inside sales because he loved the concept so much, but he also recognized he had to explore the idea of outside sales, and so he did and made many discoveries. The discoveries we will cover later in this presentation. To conclude Ryan's background story, he did find success in the end. Ryan had insane offers for his business to be bought out. However, he refused to accept because he truly believed in the business he had built and wanted to continue building his empire. Young Ryan made the correct choice, as his business ended up being successful beyond his wildest dreams. Ryan made it as the CEO of Qualtrics, moved out of his parents' basement, made up with his friends at Dunder Mifflin, and lived happily ever after. Pay close attention. Now that you have heard Ryan's tale, it is time for me, Assistant to the Regional Manager Dwight Schrute, to impart upon you some Schrute-certified knowledge about inside sales. In this presentation, we will cover the following three objectives. First, we'll discuss the ins and outs of inside sales, such as its benefits, costs, and limitations. This is important information for any assistant to the regional manager who wants to be successful. We'll then review Ryan's secret formula for optimizing inside sales channels. This formula is so secret, I can only share it with you if I deputize you as an honorary assistant to the regional manager. So, congratulations on your new title. Our last objective will break down why the inside sale model is becoming a popular go-to-market channel for many industries. This is important information to know, especially if you're considering switching to an inside sales model or adding it to your existing sales strategy. In addition to these objectives, I have also been assigned a special secret mission as assistant to the regional manager by the regional manager, Michael Scott. My mission is to find the answer to the following question. Would you continue using only an inside sales model, or would you add a field sales function to seek out large enterprise customers? To answer this question, we must first understand what inside sales is and how it works. When looking into inside sales, there are a number of benefits including low cost, a scientific approach to selling, time efficiency, and room for increased salary and incentives. All of these factors contribute to the success of an inside sales force and helps explain why some companies choose this channel of sales. Inside sales is the superior sales channel. It is cheaper, more efficient, and more effective than traditional outside sales. Ryan, who is typically a fool, exceeded expectations by entirely omitting the possibility of an outside sales force due to high costs. This is a wise decision. According to sales statistics from Zippia, an inside sales team typically costs 40% to 90% less than an outside sales team. This is because inside sales reps do not require expensive travel or entertainment expenses. Additionally, inside sales channels can be run remotely, which reduces the cost of a physical work environment. The ability to operate at a low cost is vital for any company trying to get their feet on the ground. Inside sales is the best way for companies to save money and increase their profits. Qualtrics is a superior company because they use a scientific approach to sales. They gauge the rate at which all sales events are likely to occur, such as the average rate at which a contact who answered the sales call would agree to a meeting. This set of metrics shows how well new and existing employees are meeting the goals of the company. You may be thinking, how did Qualtrics do it? Well, as you can see on the chart, Ryan chose the rates for calls, contact sets, showing up, potential accounts, and securing an account. For example, the average rate for converting a call into a contact is 13%, and setting up a meeting with a new contact is 25%. This shows Ryan where employees can improve and which employees are overachieving the statistics. This sort of scientific approach is not nearly as feasible with an outside sales team. It would be too costly and intensive to monitor their performance effectively. I am the best salesman at Dunder Mifflin because I also use the scientific approach. I know exactly how likely each sale is to occur, and I use that information to my advantage. I'm also able to identify employees who need additional training and guidance. If you want to lead a successful sales force and have it run like a well-oiled machine, you need to use the scientific approach. And the best way to study this is through the Qualtrics method. Inside sales is the most efficient way to sell anything. Ryan's sales team at Qualtrics can make 26 cold calls a day, which totals to 6,240 cold calls a year. That's more cold calls than any outside sales rep could ever make. And because inside sales reps typically don't have to travel, they can spend even more time making calls and converting leads into customers. Outside sales reps seem like they are just a waste of time and money at times. They spend all their time racking up flyer miles instead of actually selling. If you want to be successful, you need to implement an inside sales channel. It's the future of sales. Inside sales reps are paid less than outside sales reps, but they make more in commissions. At Qualtrics, the standard sales rep earns a monthly salary of $2,000 and 10% uncapped commission. If they surpass the quota, they also earn a 20% overachievement commission. Ryan also gives spot rewards from his own pocket to celebrate extraordinary achievements. This pay structure is designed to motivate our workforce to work hard and be loyal to the company. High-achieving employees can become team leaders or veteran sales representatives, which gives them more control over their team or individual operations. Inside sales is a great opportunity for people who want to earn a lot of money and have a lot of control over their careers. The floor may be low, but the potential is through the roof. While inside sales has many benefits, it does come with its limitations. In the Schrute family, we simply call this HDF. H, hard to reach large enterprises. E, difficult to sell to other cultures. F, fit-based recruitment. These components together show some of the limited capabilities of an inside sales channel. An inside sales channel can prove to be a difficult way to reach more prominent businesses. Traditionally, in larger businesses, an outside sales representative can facilitate a meeting with a company decision maker, give a demonstration on how the technology works, and present their pitch. This type of sale can be nearly impossible for an inside sales rep. Even for a master of inside sales, such as myself, a larger company may want a more comprehensive presentation. Instead of selling to the top of the company, the strategy is to sell to the bottom. If your product can establish some form of credibility within the company, it may be easier to target other branches of a company, which may lead to one large enterprise deal. This method is referred to as the Trojan horse customer acquisition process. While this is a viable strategy, a field sales representative would prove more effective in large enterprise sales. Inside sales can be difficult when you have to deal with cultural barriers. Every culture is different. For example, in Korea, you cheer for the oldest person in the room every time you drink. In business, every culture has different standards and customs. In some cultures, you have to meet and get to know someone before you can discuss business. In other cultures, you have to give gifts. This is where field sales reps shine. It can establish and close deals that inside sales reps just can't. But if you're an inside sales rep and you have to deal with cultural barriers, here's a tip. Do your research. Learn about the culture you're dealing with. Learn their customs and traditions, and be respectful. If you do that, you'll have a better chance of closing the deal. Here's another tip. Use technology to your advantage. There are a lot of great tools available that can help you communicate with people from different cultures. For example, there are translation tools, video conferencing tools, and even cultural training programs. Even with these tools, field sales excel in the international sales arena in a way which inside sales cannot compete. Based recruitment can be an excellent advantage for any business to make sure their candidates are the right fit for the business. However, this is a double-edged sword. In order to ensure the company culture and business operations are conducted correctly, you need to find suitable candidates to fit the inside sales role. Ryan talked about how potential applicants needed to have a high GPA, the right personality, involvement in clubs or sports, and high motivation. Finding recruits such as these can prove to be complicated. This could limit the company's potential growth, as well as missing out on great candidates who don't meet something such as extracurricular activities. In fact, I've hired some of my best salespeople from the most unlikely places. I once hired a guy who was working as a garbage man. He was the best salesperson I've ever had. If I were interviewing candidates, I would ask them questions about their work ethic and motivation, what they're passionate about and hoping to achieve in their career. If they can answer those questions well, they're probably a good fit for the company, even if they don't have a perfect resume. Now let's look at what not to do in an interview. This is a prime example of not being a good fit. This was an interview I had before I understood the concept of fit-based recruitment.
I have left Dunder Mifflin after many record-breaking years, and I am officially on the job market, and it's very exciting.
For your convenience, I've broken it down into 3 parts. Professional resume, athletic and special skills resume, and Dwight Schrute trivia.
I am ready to face any challenges that might be foolish enough to face me.
How would I describe myself? 3 words. Hardworking, alpha male, jackhammer, merciless, insatiable.
There's nothing on my horizon except everything.
Certain management aspects differ when comparing the requirements of inside sales channels to field sales channels. One managerial requirement for optimizing inside sales channels includes hiring the right people for the job. Many sales reps don't like to sit at a desk all day and make calls, so it's essential to find people who enjoy working desk jobs and are technically savvy when using phones and other technological components. Employees also must fit the company culture, meeting the drive and dedication required to excel at selling. Building off of that, employees need to understand how to sell through the phone effectively. Inside sales reps should learn these methods and strategies through leadership and overachieving employees. This starts with excellent training, guidance, and coaching to make sure your staff has the resources they need to perform at their highest possible level. Inside sales reps also need strong incentives to perform due to their low base pay and the nature of their job. Employees may procrastinate in various ways when out in the field. When considering an inside sales position, using time inefficiently may be more tempting, especially in a remote working environment. Strong incentives are a great tool to motivate eager and hungry employees, and something that any inside sales manager should take advantage of. Last but not least, inside sales managers should always be looking at the data. Using this data from successful and struggling salespeople can provide a solution to an underperforming inside sales force. It doesn't have to be Ryan's formula, but using data to make the best decisions is one of the best tools a sales manager can have. Inside sales has been growing as a go-to-market strategy in a wide variety of industries. In fact, both Dunder Mifflin and Qualtrics were pioneers in inside sales channels, and Dwight Schrute was both the sheriff and the outlaw of inside sales. The benefits discussed earlier in this presentation shed light as to why this is becoming a preferred way to sell. This makes complete sense, as we live in a world that is constantly evolving and advancing in consumer and corporate technology. This further reflects on consumer habits, as the average person today spends most of their time on devices such as their smartphones, laptops, and tablets. Consumers mainly taught themselves how to use and integrate this technology into their everyday lives, which makes the technology relevant in a business setting as well. To put it lightly, people are more comfortable being less social and care much more about efficiency. Conducting business through an inside sales channel may fit company cultures more than a field sales channel. Much of this was shown during the COVID-19 pandemic, when much of the world had to learn to utilize technology to its full potential in terms of communication, organization, and efficiency. Although things are returning to normal, remote work environments are still popular and effective. Considering all of this, inside sales channels are continuing to grow. Facts. We have completed our special secret mission. We uncovered the answer to the question, would you continue using only inside sales model, or would you add a field sales function to seek out large enterprise customers? Even with much success in use of the current sales model, we would recommend Ryan and his team to adapt to a field sales model. Even here at Dunder Mifflin, we operate using both inside and outside sales channels. This way they could maximize their time and reach international and large enterprises. When looking to expand internationally, cultural divides may pose a threat to Ryan and his team. Field sales would allow them to create stronger relationships and reduce cultural differences. It could also reduce the language barrier, as a translator could be present. As for large enterprises, they tend to require high engagement and strong relationships. Field sales is a way to foster such relationships and create trust and credibility with large enterprises. Having field sales representatives is also an effective way to learn about your prospect's business and provide hands-on demonstrations. A way to approach field sales for Ryan and his team would be to slowly train the current sales team in field sales in small groups. An option may even be to hire experienced field sales representatives to help Qualtrics integrate them properly into the company. Overall, having multiple forms of sales channels will be a benefit, but the integration and utilization of these channels will ultimately be key. And that, my friend, is the Dwight Schrute guarantee.